Um, you say you're inspired from the Rebbe's teachings. Could you tell us like one of your favorite teachings or something that you love that the Rebbe taught that really hits home to you and gets penetrates into your heart?
Yes, thank you for that. It's I studied the Rebbe's teachings in high school. I mean, like every yeshiva student, you start at a young age. But when you're 16, life is like is 16 years old. As you go through different life experiences and you start to understand a little bit more about the world and yourself, and your studies start taking on different meaning. So
Mhm.
recently, I would say very recently, I've been rereading these teachings from the Rebbe, and they absolutely blow my mind.
Wow.
Absolutely. I think this is the most incredible gift that we have is these teachings from the Rebbe that are just incredible. So there's these discourses, Maimorim,
Mhm.
and apparently there's like 1,500. There's 1,500 of them. And
Wow.
then you have sichot. You have these talks, and there's over like the 40 volumes of that. Then you have igris. You have letters. Then you have sichat kodesh. I mean, it's so incredible. But you'll have this one liners. You'll have these one ideas that just blow your mind. I'll give you one. I can do five
Mhm.
hours on this minimum. I'll give you one on humility. That's from volume 6. Very beautiful. Um, you always think of humility as something that happens in your head. Are you a humble person? I'm a humble person. He's a humble person. Like, who cares? Like, what do I care
Mhm.
if you're humble? Like, what does that do for me? Right? So humility, I always thought of something that happens in someone's head. Like, are you anxious? That's happening in your head. Are you humble? That's happening in your head. The Rebbe says, no, true humility doesn't care if you're humble. No one
Mhm.
cares about you. Humility is when you look at someone else and you say, if this guy had the gifts that I had, he would do so much better. That
Mhm.
humility is from Moses, where he looked at others. It forced him to look at others around him and see, oh, what does he need? What does he need? So
Mhm.
the Rebbe's way he kind of views humility is really a way of seeing our whole life. Like, no one cares if you're humble. That's between
Mhm.
you and yourself. There's a big world out there. So the Rebbe opens our eyes to people around us, kind of changes our focus. Happiness. You want happiness. You want happiness. Okay, great. You should have happiness. But what about your neighbor? What about your kids? What about
Mhm.
this guy? So the Rebbe opens us up and he's saying, that's how you're going to get happiness. Worry about someone
Mhm.
else's happiness. That'll bring you happiness. Stop already with
Mhm.
this. I'm humble. I'm happy. I'm hungry. It's like, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? That leads you down a very a difficult path. Just look at the world. Look at people going down that path. How many books are there? You're in the book sphere. How many books are there on how to find happiness?
Oh, it's bestsellers, right? So
Yeah, how
many.
many? 10,
Huge.
20, thousands, 100,000? A lot. So
Right.
obviously a lot of people are trying to get
Looking.
happy, you know?
Mhm.
And the Rebbe is like, exactly. If you're trying to get happy, it's not going to work. That's why you're going to have to
Right.
buy so many books. Try to make someone else happy, you'll find happiness. So it's really the Rebbe's teachings really are so practical, so helpful, and I can't get enough of it. I
Mm.
cannot get enough of it. It's just, I would suggest Chabad.org has plenty, the Rebbe's teachings. Just, get involved, start reading. You'll find it. It'll find you, as you start.